Yes, Adi is one of those people who can say anything she wants and people love her for it.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm worried I'm going to
I can say the same thing as her, and they're like, boo him! And they lift Adi up. They're like,
Kill him! Kill him!
And she's like, kill him! She's leading them in the chant.
You're like, why do I have to die?
I don't think
For
I
a
have to
bad
die.
take?
How loud should I sound in this?
Yeah, so your headphones might be too loud.
No, I don't think I feel. I'm worried that I'm going to come off quiet.
You are a good level right now.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wish.
Just like my mom made me perfect.
Perfect.
Don't give my mom that look.
I didn't say anything.
Don't disrespect my mom.
I would
like
never
that.
disrespect. I love
Cancel
my
them.
mom.
We're canceling them.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready to start?
If I say some things your mom has said to me, who's going to get canceled on this show? I'm going to cancel your mom on this show.
I mean,
The threatening that we're doing before we start the show is crazy.
I'm here for
I
it.
was
I'm
hoping
here
all
for it
this
too.
was going to be in.
Tonight on Comfort Level Podcast, 3 humans, 1 guest, try to read.
With Sam, Maddie, Brandon, and our special guest.
Josh.
Join us tonight or today at 12 p.m. as we figure out, am I the asshole? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Comfort Level Podcast.
We back, baby.
We're here with
We're
a
back.
very special guest.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't say that special, but a big fan. Number 1 fan of the podcast.
Wow, Maddie, we're trying to make sure that everyone's welcome on our show. And you know, special guest.
I would say that's anybody, but maybe that's wrong. Maybe I
That's
should
true.
just.
All your guests have been wonderful.
We are here with Sam's best friend.
Okay, let's not get crazy.
Who took some time out of his busy
Let's not
life
get
to come hang
crazy.
out with us for a few hours. Josh.
Thank you,
Josh!
guys. I'm very excited to be here.
And if we're being honest, though, he's 7 on my list of friends.
7. That's pretty high. Though.
It's pretty high. It's high. I'm not saying you're down there, but you're not.
So many people seem like they'd want to be your friend, especially the viewers. And I'm like,
Wait, okay.
I don't think they really know.
No, Josh,
I mean,
Josh, chill.
I mean,
I was kidding.
but I was like, I'm not surprised about your problematic
Josh,
stuff
no.
that you say.
Josh,
you
you're
know?
2. You're number 2.
Oh, I'm number 2. Yeah, I mean, Sam's a perfect man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so we got 2 announcements. One, you can see it. We got merch on the way.
Oh, like this next
Like
story.
this next story. We got some embroidered like this next story.
Yes.
Comfort level right here. This is very comfortable. I would say it's true to size. This is more of kind of a little bit oversized hoodie, comfort level. And then on the back, it says like this next story. They're very soft, very
They're
comfortable.
so soft. I'm sorry. I just wish I had also got one, Maddie, because
So you did
it
get
seems
one.
like the guests got one and you guys too, and then I'm just like, I'm in this. I was like, I wish I had one as well.
You did, but it was totally my fault why you're not wearing one with us because
Oh, I just wanted
in
that
my
on the episode.
It's fine,
Don't
Sam. I
edit
get
this
it. I
out.
get it. I know that's what you wanted.
Don't edit it out.
It was my fault
Well-
because we're at Brandon's house and I brought that for Josh. So I'm like, well, we can all be covered even though I was the only one who planned to wear
Yeah.
this.
Well, Sam, I'm traveling from out of town, coming to town, and Sam picked me up on the way over. He was like, I think last time Maddie mentioned to wear merch, we might be announcing it next podcast, and he's like, I don't know if I really want to do that. I ain't even
He's
really
already
that big of a
started.
fan.
Why do I believe you so much?
He's a
Because it's
cancer.
like,
This is what he
It's
does.
Sam, we know.
He's a
That's-
cancer. And then he uses that on me. Oh my God. I didn't mean to bring a criminal mastermind onto the show.
because I just have an aching feeling that you were literally wearing it in the car and then you
I took
changed.
it off. I was like, don't tell him, Josh. And I take it off and I put it under my seat.
Well, Sam, that's why we're best friends. Like our next story.
Hey, how dare you? How dare you use
This
me?
is crazy. He used you
He
as the
used me.
launch pad to his transition.
That's
I
how
bet
you know I'm a
you-
fan because
back
I
to
got
7.
it down.
He's back to
I
7.
definitely didn't have the words written down before.
I bet you guys aren't even, you're probably not even on his top 10 the way he used you.
Yeah, he didn't even say
Yeah.
where you were.
Sam is all transparency. You can cut this out. That's fine. Sadia, you can cut this out. Sam is definitely top 2.
And he still remains 7 for me.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Guys,
Cancel him.
hey,
Go to the Reddit, make
Hey.
another post about how we have to cancel Sam.
hey, guys, I'm kidding, but I'm for real.
Wait.
Boo.
I love the last
I'm with
guy.
that guy.
Boo.
Oh, so special announcement. Sam found all of these stories from our subreddit.
r/comfort level
Level
pod,
pod.
baby. Check us out.
Check us out. I mean, a lot of people have been checking us out. The last time I saw, we were at like 200, like,
Was that a
what is
different
it?
jingle?
Members? What do you call people in subreddit that follow the page?
Oh,
Redditors? I don't know.
Well, it depends on what subreddit you are. We would be the
Comforters?
Ottomans, obviously.
Yeah. I got an ottoman, baby. We got ottoman.
Ottoman
Real fan,
here.
best
Ottoman
fan.
here in
And
the
ottoman
studio.
has made it onto the show.
Well,
we
we
thought
have
there were
like
so few. We thought there were so little.
we have like 1,500 comforters now and ottomans.
Yes.
Very small amount of ottomans, but a lot of comforters.
Mm-hmm.
And I love reading the stories. We got some good stories. I remember at the beginning of our Reddit, there wasn't a lot of punctuation being used. There weren't commas. It was hard to see where the pauses were. Now we got people writing real stories now. Thank you for the stories. Keep them coming. Keep using punctuation because your boy likes to read them.
And
Ooh.
space.
What's that subreddit again?
r/comfort level pod.
Okay, so this first story is: Am I the asshole for dating my ex's childhood best friend? How far do we go back where you can't date friends? Your ex's childhood best friend.
Your ex's childhood. So when he was a kid, this was his best
Yeah,
friend.
yeah.
I think that's fine. You can definitely date
Yeah.
your
I think it
childhood.
depends on how old you are. I think when you're a bit younger, I kind of experienced this where I had a friend, close friend, asked this girl out who he knew I was very into, and it was not Sam.
Oh,
It was actually
my
number
God.
one best friend.
I'm like, I just
For real.
find out it was me. And he's been wanting to date me this whole time.
Wow. I think a lot of people have especially on the subreddit. The Ottomans,
Ottoman.
they're kind of thirsty. I'm just saying.
Blatchler.
Oh my gosh! Don't call her.
Blatchler, 210.
Oh,
210.
tell us about your best friend, Joe.
Oh,
Do I
yeah.
know
When
this
I
best
was
friend?
when I was in high school, it happened to me, and I was like,
He didn't say no.
Yeah, I think
this really hurts. And it's kind of one of those moments in life that becomes a core memory, and you kind of don't forget about. But as you get older, you're like, trying to find the one, and then you make friends with people, or with your friends' girlfriends, and it turns out they're pretty cool. And at the end of the day, once you get older, you realize, oh, we're adults, we can make our own decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, that doesn't. There's still the relationship with your best friend that you still have to deal with. You're
Yeah.
like, hey,
Well,
and that's true, and that's something. I mean, that's one of the things
did this.
I hope viewers you kind of develop
Don't
as
point
you
at
grow
our
older.
viewers.
I'm going to.
don't point at her.
He wants
viewers
to
like
talk to
that.
them
It's
directly.
Disrespectful.
I want to give them
You're
hope that one
brandishing a
day,
weapon at them.
one day they can sit on this couch.
for our live episodes, maybe we can do something like that,
That
though.
would
Because
be
there have
so
been people who are
cool.
like, so when are you guys going to have comforters on as guests?
Mm-hmm.
So
I need to make more friends with him because I had to pick this guy. He's my only friend. Who
he's very cool.
Listen to the
So
show.
what are you trying to say?
I
Yeah.
love him, and he's number 7. I said this. You guys know this. I love this guy.
Wow. Well, he's number one in our hearts.
Yeah.
At least I got a hoodie out of this friendship.
He keeps trying to steal my
He's gonna
hoodie.
keep the hoodie. He's not gonna keep the hoodie.
And he's honestly swaying me a little bit. I'm like,
Yeah.
should I give it to him?
He's using the show to do it.
Am I the asshole for dating my ex's childhood best friend? I know this sounds really bad from the jump, and honestly, I likely could be the asshole here, but I just wanted some perspective moving forward. I, 25 female, am pretty sure I'm dating my ex's 29 male childhood best friend. So for some context, my ex and I broke up 6 months ago. We had a great relationship initially until he moved out of state 6 months in, which was where things started to become rocky. We both went back and forth around if we should be together at this point, and we'd already fallen for each other, so it was hard to walk away, and genuinely, we wanted to be together, but after around a year later, it just wasn't working out, so we decided to break up. This was really hard for me. He was my first love, and although we both knew it was for the best, I was truly heartbroken. After we broke up, I didn't date, and I tried to spend time with my friends, but overall, I just felt lost, and I felt like I lost the love of my life. My ex and I still spoke to each other for the first few months, since it was really hard to talk to anyone else. My friends were really trying to support me, but they just say mean things about him, saying he didn't deserve me, etc., which I really didn't want to hear since I still loved him. This was fine for the most part until my ex started dating someone else after only a few weeks post-breakup, which just broke my heart all over again. I felt really confused since he would tell me that he didn't want to break up, but we both understood that with where we both were, things weren't working. After this point, we spoke on FaceTime, we cried, and I blocked him after this and went no contact. I finally started dating someone again after 4 months post-breakup. P.S. This isn't about if I'm ready to date or not, or whatever. That's my business.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna ask, but okay.
Sorry.
What are we gonna say anything?
And I've been on a few dates here and there and didn't really have a spark with anyone, which did throw me for a loop and which did make me miss my ex even more. And I was really disappointed. I talked to my therapist about our breakup, and she really helped me try to process the breakup and move on from that chapter. So I started dating again after a few months later and felt a lot better about it this time and was quite excited. I matched with a few potentials on dating sites and started dating a few guys. So here's where things get a little messy. One of the guys I matched with, let's call him Tom, 31 male, I was really getting on with, and he asked me on a date. We'd been speaking for a few weeks, trying to align schedules, so we got to get to know each other before meeting, and we hit it off on the date. During mine and Tom's second date, we started to talk more, and he was telling me about a story about a night out which sounded really familiar. I brushed it off at the time, but when I got home, I was talking to my friends and looking at his profile again, and one of the pictures was of him at a wedding and scenery theme that looked really familiar. I looked through the WhatsApp chat from my ex to find the photos from the same wedding. I'm a bit confused because I was getting along with Tom, but I'm pretty sure he knew who I was since my ex used to post pictures of us on dates, but Tom hasn't said anything. We've been on another date since then, and I never brought it up since I don't really want to make things weird, and I really enjoy dating him. It's really unfair that the first guy I'm starting to like since my ex is his childhood best friend. Tom asked me on another date, which I said yes to, and I'm not sure if I'm the asshole for not saying anything or should I just end things. Side note, I've met a lot of my ex's friends, but we would mainly go out with other couples in the state that he moved to. So although I knew of Tom, I never met him and had only seen a group photo from the wedding. Am I the asshole?
Whoa! Our listeners got crazy lives, dramatic lives.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting this from the
Oh,
auto.
these are all listener stories.
Oh
I see what you're doing there.
What?
Listen, they decided on comforters. This wasn't even my choice.
See, from my perspective, the only way you could be the asshole is if you're the best friend dating your best friend's ex. You're the ex. You have no obligation to them. And from my perspective, I'm like, you don't have an obligation to make sure the ex feels good. So I don't think you're the asshole for dating, especially the childhood best friend, someone you never even met before. Even if you knew them, I still don't think it's your obligation to say yes or no. I would be mad at the friend, not at my ex, personally.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like a small world, so it is what it is. There's nothing in the story that made me feel like you would be in the wrong for that. It's not like
Right.
you're going to talk to him anymore, your ex. And if you're hitting it off with this guy, then what's the harm of talking more and seeing where it goes? Plus, I don't know. I guess the one thing that she's probably questioning that I'm questioning too is why didn't he say, "Oh, I know you," unless he knew that he liked her too and it was going to make it weird. But I don't know why he wouldn't say anything if he did recognize her.
I think that is the one red flag. And I don't think OP was quite clear whether she had that conversation with him.
Mm-hmm.
But that's definitely something you should have a conversation with is, hey, did you know who I was prior to us actually going out? Because if he knew and perhaps, looking at it pessimistically, he could be, kind of being more predatory. And then that would be an awful situation to be in. You're vulnerable. And he just kind of has the insider scoop maybe from his friend, but being more optimistic. Maddie brought up a point that it's a small world. We actually don't know where this person's from.
Mm-hmm.
And OP noted that it's just hard to get back into dating, and you connect with who you connect with.
Mm-hmm. I like
Wow.
those points a lot.
Yeah. I was only going to say the only way you would be the a-hole is if you denied yourself the chance of love.
You're such a pastor. You're such a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
He said, so like, we should all do an impression of Brandon right there. So he said, the only way that you would be the asshole OP is if you denied yourself trying to find love.
Yeah.
Okay, ready, Josh?
Man, the only way you would be the asshole is if you denied yourself
Oh no.
of trying of being in love.
It's like a serial killer. It's like a killer.
He was like kind of whispering to my ear. It was a little seductive.
Yeah, it was
a
like-
little.
It was
I
very
like,
seductive. It was
hold on.
like,
Sure.
Wait, okay, yeah.
Oh, mine? Okay. Congregation. Sometimes people out there.
get him, Pastor.
Sometimes people out there, they know. I forgot what he said.
You're only denying yourself love if you
Oh.
don't try.
You're only denying love. Because if you don't try, can I get a witness?
Amen.
Can I get a witness? If you don't try,
Tell him, Pastor.
then where will love be? Ow!
Hallelujah.
I hate y'all.
Pastor Brandon.
But no, I think that was just because it was so good.
Yeah.
It really was a good point.
You're like, it hit me.
It hit me because I'm like, are you speaking on Sunday?
But yeah,
put,
no.
put
it's-
that on a t-shirt. Merchandise coming soon. Watch the YouTube.
He's got a lot of notes he's getting through.
But yeah, it's like
Got a lot of talking points.
the ex is just like I think you said it earlier. The ex, you don't have, or one of you guys said it, you don't have to make the ex comfortable.
Right, yeah.
So it's like, why are you? What is the point of you not at least trying? Like, okay, it is a sticky situation, but from what you said, you barely know this guy, and it's not like anything on your end for you to be like, oh yeah, I went out of my way to do this.
Right.
Not even that you would admit it, even though it kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You guys are adults. You found love. You found someone you really connect with. Are you really going to give that up for someone you're not going to be with?
The only thing is, like, be honest with yourselves. Is now that you know, are you trying to keep in contact to have that connection with your ex? Is this a way to stay connected with your ex in some kind of way? Because then this might be doing more harm than good of you trying to do it. But if this is genuine, you're like, I didn't know and I found out, but I still like him, girl, go for it.
But for real, check out that red flag. If he knew who you were and was predatory,
Yeah, that's what the thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
do we think he knows because it's a childhood best friend?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's like a childhood best friend, I'm like, I'm not checking on my childhood best friend's social media to like see who he's dating.
Sam, you're on a couple of dates now, right? How many red flags before you know to break things off?
Like this next story.
He wanted to actually answer it.
I'm sorry, Sam. You can answer.
No, we have to respect the transition.
Yeah,
I
you
do
gotta
wanna
respect
know. I
it.
want to
Transition
know.
has to be respected.
The comforters want to know, Sam.
I don't know. It depends on the severity of the red flag. I think there's always red flags, but like, I'll say 2 or 3.
Am I the asshole for breaking
am.
things off with my +1 an hour before the wedding that we were attending together? That might be a little too crazy, OP. Just by the title, that might be a little too crazy.
I'll say 45 minutes. That's the cutoff.
That's the cutoff.
Yeah, if you get under 45 minutes, then you are the asshole. But an
What do you
hour?
mean? Like
But is it
an hour
45
is
minutes to
ample
when the
time.
wedding's about to start, or is it 45 minutes before the bride walks down the aisle?
You'll go the bride. That's when the real wedding starts. When the bride.
Well, no. I said a day before because an hour before.
No, an hour
Just
is
a
enough
day
time.
before?
Look at the makeup,
Yeah.
getting ready, canceling plans, all that. An hour before.
It's funny.
That's horrible.
Oh, yeah, it's bad.
You would break up just in the name of comedy
Yeah.
then?
Well, since our listener wrote this story, I'm on OP side. We find out we have horrible people as listeners.
Does that mean does that mean one of us has to be against it?
No, you
No,
just
we
feel
can
how
all-
you feel.
Yeah, we can.
I'll be against it. I wouldn't do it because I'd be too depressed at the wedding and go, man, I wish I would just, stuck through it for, just for the day.
I agree. I think I would have just stuck through it for the day, just because it's like I have to be at this event for 5 hours
Right.
with you, and I don't know how you're gonna treat me. If we're probably sitting next to each other, so
In the background, like, celebrate.
Good.
You're sitting there mad.
Mad. I'm sorry. The celebrate.
How you gonna be mad on
Celebration.
vacation?
Yeah.
No, OP is the one who's singing Celebrate.
OP's
He's
like,
just sitting there just...
living their best life. They're like, yes!
Am I the asshole for breaking things off with my +1 an hour before the wedding that we were attending together? I, 26 female, had a +1 to my best friend's wedding. I'm currently single and dating around. One of the guys I had been dating, 29 male, and I have been on 6 or so dates in the past 2 months.
Okay.
We initially met through the bride, and I've gone on a double date with the bride and groom. He is friends with both of them also. He wasn't invited to the wedding because he is newer to the friend group. When we first met, before we started seeing each other romantically, I mentioned that it may be fun to go to the wedding together since I knew that the couple wanted to have him there but barely knew him at the time they sent out the invitations. Around the time I had to RSVP, whether I was bringing a +1 or not, I realized that I no longer felt as attracted to him as I did initially. I'm a pretty laid-back person and am generally pretty quiet. Something that I look for in a partner is a mutual understanding that we don't always need to be making small talk and we can enjoy a comfortable silence together. This guy, however, feels the constant need to be chatty, commenting on everything, and it has been getting on my nerves to the point that I think there is a fundamental incompatibility between us.
Man.
I realized this before I invited him, but I didn't have time to tell him before the RSVP that I didn't want to pursue things romantically. I decided to invite him to the wedding anyways and probably tell him after the wedding. Fast forward to the wedding weekend, which was in another state. We flew there together and we were staying in a hotel room with my other friend. The first day, his constant comments and attention was getting on my nerves. My friend, who had never met him previously, also said that he was starting to annoy her as well. It was kind of ruining my weekend because my priority going into the weekend was to spend time with my other friends celebrating the wedding. I decided that I needed to tell him that I was no longer interested before the wedding so that he wouldn't be attached to my side the entire night and I could properly enjoy my best friend's wedding. I told him while we were getting ready in our hotel room that I didn't see things working out romantically. He was caught off guard, even though I felt like he should have picked up via my body language much sooner, and asked if he could do anything about it or if he could fix it. I told him no, and I was just being honest by telling him that his constant attention was overwhelming me and I didn't think that we were compatible. After all, he shouldn't change his ways of expressing love on my behalf, as I think another girl would appreciate that kind of attention that he gives. That girl is simply not me. At the wedding, he avoided me the whole night and made a few snide comments to our mutual friends at the wedding, including a complaint that he spent money on flights and a suit rental for the wedding. I paid for the hotel. I get that, but I know that he would have no problem paying if he'd been invited by the bride and groom. He knew at least 5 other people at the wedding, in addition to the bride and groom, so it's not like I brought him there and ditched him. I thought that we could still dance and have fun celebrating our friend's marriage. He's the one that chose to avoid me and make things awkward. The next morning, he packed up and left early. Before I woke up in the morning, he changed his flight to an earlier flight so that he didn't have to fly home with me. I know that he deserves his space, but I didn't expect this reaction, and I was wondering, am I the asshole?
Wazzy.
I have to say though, it was I don't know why, but like the reason as to why she fell out of interest was just so funny. It's like, bro, she fell out of interest because you can't stop yapping. Like,
Yes,
bro,
I wrote that down. Is annoying.
Like that is
That's fair.
crazy.
No, I think it's fair sometimes.
Yeah. It's just that's such a like. Oh man, and then
I think it's
especially-
enough early on.
Yeah, it's enough. It's just funny because like having like friends that's like, oh, like you have one friend and you're like, oh, they like talk too much, but it's like they're
Yeah.
fine. But it's like
Yeah.
if that was like a romantic interest, it's like, yeah, you cool, but you just talk too much. It's like, oh dang, that's the reason you're not being with me now. That is hilarious.
Well, you never tell them that.
Yeah, she told him.
And he was like, okay, that's cool.
Fly
I
alone.
feel like she's the asshole
Yeah, we have to say it.
because I really think you could have waited until the wedding was over and you guys were back home to just say that. I feel like it didn't need to be said at that moment.
Yeah.
I understand because when I was younger, I'm pretty sure I have an avoidant attachment style, which is basically like, I don't like to be touched. I like to avoid people and problems. I like to be by myself. And I had a friend who had the opposite. It was like an anxious attachment style. And so they're like, let me touch you. Let's hang out all the time.
Yeah.
And so I ended up not reacting well to that person where I would avoid. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm we're totally gonna hang out, and then
Yeah.
I would just ghost her.
Oh my god.
And then she would be like, so I wasn't even giving her the decency that OP was giving, which was kind of being brutally honest, maybe
You're
in the wrong
annoying,
time.
bud.
And
Yeah,
I felt like I was being suffocated. So I get what she's saying. She
Yeah.
was like, he's attached. He's always next to me. Like, he won't give me space. I totally get that. And I know, looking back on it, even like when I did it, and I was like telling my sister Hannah, I'm like, Hannah, I can't be around this person. She's like, Maddie, you're a bad person. And I was like,
she's telling you like straight up, like you're not good.
she's like, you're a
around
horrible
me.
friend. I'm like, I'm sorry. I can't be around her. But
That's
I
when
think it
now you
ended up-
learn perspective and other people's feelings.
Huh?
That's when you learned about other people's feelings.
Well, it was just a problem that I had
Yeah.
with anybody, but this person like would not give me space. So it'd be easier for me to be like, okay, I just want to talk to you for a few weeks,
Yeah.
and then I can be around you for a little bit. And then I'm like a cat in a way. I'm like, don't touch me, but I'll be here. And then I leave on my own time.
Yeah.
Okay. But being around somebody who's like a dog, like a golden retriever energy, I'm like, yo, give me some space. But anyway, I dealt with it in a wrong way, which is why I feel like you dealt with it in a wrong way, because it's how I would have dealt with it.
I did it wrong, so I know you did it wrong.
And maybe there's people that disagree, and that's totally fine.
No,
But
I agree with you, Maddie. I thought I was gonna have the hot take. I was gonna be like, yeah, you kind of were the asshole. The only redeeming quality I'd say is this is their best friend's wedding, so they can kind of get away with it. Like, I'm sure if it is really their best friend, they know they're exactly that type of personality, and it's just like, yeah, I know, and they're not that close, and this and that and whatever. But yeah, taking them out of like flying somewhere else, it's kind of a rough one.
it's kind of a big commitment in general to be
Yeah.
like, let's fly together, let's stay in the hotel room.
Yeah.
And I get you weren't going to know that, but it's a lot to be like, so I know we're staying in the same hotel room tonight, but I don't want to pursue anything romantically with you anymore.
I have a separate conversation
Okay.
after we
Yeah.
give our opinions. But yeah, I would say she is just because of not understanding his reaction too. Like,
Yeah, I think he had a valid
She
reaction.
tried to turn it around a little bit.
yeah, it's like, bro, like,
Why did he react like
Why
that?
did he react? Maybe because his heart was invested, or he had feelings. I mean, not trying to be harsh or anything,
Yeah.
but it's like, yeah, he's invested in you.
Yeah, that's
Like,
real.
you have to have that understanding that, yo, he had feelings for you. He thought everything was going good, and he's like, and then she said he should have known by my body language. And I'm like, bro, Maddie liked me for like so long, and before she told me she liked me, I was like oblivious.
I was telling you that. I could see the body language though. So
And
like
I was telling Sam, I don't like your cousin.
I'm like you absolutely like.
I'm
him.
like, I'm mad at him. He won't talk to me anymore. And
I
you're like,
get mad and sad when he doesn't speak to me.
I'm either
like,
really happy around him or I'm angry.
I'm like,
And
oh,
I'm just
yeah.
like, yo, Maddie's weird sometimes.
Maddie's strange.
So like you saying he should have known by the body language. He was never gonna know, sis.
Well, let's explain that. The reason why it was weird is because I was never going to have the courage to communicate that I liked Brandon, and Brandon didn't know why I was acting like that. So that's why it was like the body language isn't enough, you know?
I knew. So.
We did. I was in it, so of course I didn't know. I'm like
Tell you
this.
several times.
Thank
Sam-
goodness you guys went on that romantic cruise together.
Oh, Josh was on the.
Josh
the
was on the
romantic-
cruise, and you heard about
I
it.
didn't have.
He was gambling.
I
in the
didn't have a
background.
crippling gambling addiction.
He wasn't there for most of it. He was gambling.
He
in the
saw
back.
us actually after the talk. We walked through the casino. He
He had a ton of money in his hand. I was like, yes!
All the moments Josh is in the background in the casino. They're like, we're walking through the casino, like, oh, there's Josh. He's like,
We're holding hands for the first time. He's just over here like, yeah.
Yahtzee!
I
Well-
did say that.
Actually, it looks like Josh came on the podcast to correct something because
Oh.
Sam was saying something about him being a gambling addict.
And he's standing on business.
So
Saying that he's not.
This is the gambling addict I was talking about. Tell your side of the story, Josh.
It's,
Correct it.
stand
if
up,
this
don't
gets cut, I understand. Prior to the cruise, I had spent a long time on something for work, and to kind of work on that, I worked late nights, and I had like got into this weird niche on YouTube of like claw machines, and like I learned a ton about it. And one thing I learned was like one of those cutting machines where you have like the little tie and you cut it and you win a prize when it drops. And I learned that a lot of that stuff like is on a payout system where even if you had perfect reaction, if you had a computer setting up with like an intense like way to monitor it, it would always scam you out of not winning the prize. But if it hit that payout limit, then it would let you win it, and you would just have to, then be skillful at, cutting it. So there was one of those machines on the cruise that we went on, and I kept walking by and I was like, just to check. I would, swipe. It's easy. They set you up with a card. You can just swipe, and maybe it is kind of an addictive thing to.
We never saw you for the cruise, Josh.
He was missing except for dinners.
Every time we walked through there, I would think about checking it, and I did check it.
And he checked it every time.
But I won a PlayStation 4 with it.
What?
I did say that because of the prize you got, it was worth it because you paid less than what the PlayStation was worth, which you paid a lot of money to get.
But for all the kids watching out there,
gambling's good.
we went on another cruise
no.
one time, and I did the same thing. There was a room that had like the claw machines with the prize and stuff like that. Never found it when it was paying out.
He lost $4,000 there.
I didn't. It was only
God.
$3,000. Okay.
I literally almost believed Sam. I was like, okay, so top comment, you're the asshole. 6 dates, both friends with the bride and groom, flying out to a wedding as a +1, and you tell him an hour before that it's not going to work out, effectively dumping him. That was cruel. You should have bit your tongue until after the wedding so everyone could have a good time. Did you ever communicate that he was being a little too chatty? Maybe it's something that he could have worked on. People have bad habits and sometimes don't realize it until adulthood. And in quote, she says, I feel like he should have picked up on my body language. This is an excuse you're giving yourself, but it's BS. All of your actions communicated the opposite. So.
Yeah, I think that was my only thing with the story that leads me to asshole is it's a good thing that we're able to express our feelings now. People are more willing to do it. Like sometimes you're uncomfortable and you're like, no, I feel like I need to say it. I feel like this is the time to say it. But some people have to realize just because it's your feeling, you don't have to express it in every single situation. There are times where you're like, okay, maybe I should get this out, but this is not the right time. Some people are like, no, I'm going to choose violence. Whenever I feel like doing it, I'm going to say it right now. You're like, read the room, OP.
Time and place, buddy. Time.
Putting those in the suit. He's like, do I look good in this? She's like, you're annoying. And he's like,
we'll never be together.
like,
I know we have another person who wants us to act it out, but should we act out
should
this
we act
one?
this one
Yeah.
out? We should act this one out.
You should, yeah, you guys got to be OP and boyfriend.
I'll be boyfriend. He's a good OP.
Do you want us to be bride and groom?
Yeah.
Because we don't need anybody else, do we? So it's mainly you two.
Hey, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Hey, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go
Wait,
to the...
Wait.
I love our wedding.
Yeah,
so
weddings.
we're gonna head off to the room. We'll
Yeah.
see you
Oh,
guys.
wait, before the wedding? You guys-
I guess I'll go to.
Wait, why are you guys holding? Should you even be seeing each other right now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, babe. They're totally going to fail. They're done.
Anyway,
Oh, wait.
I'm gonna go to my room and I'll see you.
Is she still there?
Because the wedding's happening right
yeah.
now.
Yeah. You gotta.
We got an hour before it goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Your friends are really weird. I just gotta say that, okay? I don't even know if their wedding's gonna. I don't know if their marriage is gonna last. They just don't seem like they're fit for. You know what I'm saying? Not like us. We'll probably last a lifetime. Right,
Wait, are
babe?
you guys both boyfriend?
He just turned into the boyfriend, so I'm switching to girlfriend.
Okay.
I thought you were OP.
No, you were OP, but now I'm OP.
My bad.
Yeah, I guess they're cool. Actually, I had something to tell you because I remind you of something. You know how you
Hold
said,
on. Are we gonna go to our room? Should we check in our room real quick?
"Yeah, let's come on."
Yeah. Okay.
Let's get some privacy.
Cool. Yeah. Let's get. Well, I mean.
Wait, what are they doing? They're feeding each
We're
other.
not
Oh my
together.
God.
We're not.
goodness.
Get away from each other. Do you want this marriage to work?
Wait.
Again, see what that's what I'm saying.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, I
You
didn't
ain't
see.
seen nothing.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
see anything. Never mind. That's crazy. Let's go to the room.
Okay.
They're definitely doing it before. Okay.
Do you have the card?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
get
Can I have my card too, please?
Actually, after this conversation, let's see how you feel about the card thing.
wait a minute.
So let's
Wait a
come
minute,
inside.
just
Come
quit playing
inside.
around. You can just give me my card.
I
like
will,
it's-
just come in the
we're
room.
all
Question?
having a good time.
How much were you guys' flights?
Oh, $8.99 for mine because I flew from Hawaii.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about
Not
that.
confirmed, but I definitely did.
Okay.
You're from Hawaii. That's
Mahalo.
weird.
Shaka, bro.
I'm from Ohio. How have you been coming to dates? Have you been flying to our dates?
Yeah, because, I really think this is going to work out.
Wow.
Unlike your friends, you ones.
Oh, we'll make sure to throw you guys a bouquet, right?
True.
What?
Okay.
You want to catch it?
No. Get in the room. Get in the room.
That's
we need to have a
perfect.
conversation.
Okay.
No! It's the wedding hasn't happened.
Oh, yeah, it hasn't
You
happened.
caught it? He's the guy. He's not
back. Yeah, I got
supposed
that
to be in this.
No, it's mine. Hey, you're just gonna have to pry this from my cold hands. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway, you went to say so. Let's go in the room and celebrate.
Come in the room. Can you guys go to separate rooms, please?
Okay, yeah.
I need to have a conversation with him.
That'd probably be a good idea.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we need to celebrate.
Oh my god. Oh
Celebrate.
Turn the radio off. It won't turn off.
Honey, I know you're a big fan of this podcast.
Don't call me honey.
I'm gonna make sure that the Comfort Level Podcast hoodie stays on.
Oh, you're a listener too. I love the show as well. I like to write stories. Okay,
Burner account.
you're bad, and I don't like you.
Bad, like I'm bad.
No,
hear
you're
that?
not bad.
Like
I
I'm a
know
baddie.
in the classical version of it, you're not a good guy. Don't like you. You're annoying. It's over. It's done.
But your friends love me.
No, they
45
don't
minutes.
like you. They tolerate
No.
you, and I tolerate you. I'm glad you paid $8.99 for that flight, bud.
Whoa.
I'm happy.
Can
So
I-
suck it up and let's go to the wedding. Good times.
Celebrate.
We got the good
I now
times.
pronounce you.
Go behind. Yay!
Hey, Opie.
Hey. Congratulations, guys.
What's wrong with
What's wrong with your boy?
Not my boy. I actually broke up with him just an hour before the wedding.
What?
would you
Yeah.
do that?
And
I'm
I bought
like,
this. I bought this.
Ditch
Comfort
the
Level
zero.
podcast.
I'm going to get with the hero. You know what I mean?
He
Can,
was a
can I
hero.
just say,
Wait.
Josh, I'm so sorry
So
about
you
this,
did
but
like
I
her?
love that hoodie.
Thank you. I got it in the YouTube shopping links down below. And I got it because my girlfriend, who I love very much, she got me into it.
Yeah, and I'm glad that.
I'm an
got a
alderman now.
fellow
You
I
know?
think you should say
Listener.
X now because she's like,
yeah, this.
She'll come back. She'll come back, right?
I'm not coming back. I want that to be clear.
Okay,
yeah.
you made it weird though, because we were all just gonna go to dinner.
yeah, we are all gonna go to dinner after.
We can still go to dinner.
No, we can't.
It'll
He
be
doesn't
fine.
like you anymore.
I know. I don't like him, so it's mutual. It's
But you
fine.
upset
I
him.
can change. I can change.
Get off me. Don't ever touch me again. But let's go to dinner. Let's all go
She's
to dinner.
really mean to him.
It's like she's not even accounting for his emotions.
He's literally crying.
What
That's
is
okay.
his problem?
I'll sick my best friend on her while she's still vulnerable
Wait, what is that?
emotionally,
Wait,
and she'll never know. But let me take a picture of myself at the wedding real quick, though.
wait, who is this guy?
So you got to take a picture with Brandon, I guess. Oh no.
Security. Did you hear
Don't
what
call
he
security
said?
in our wedding.
Okay. Did you hear what he said? He threatened me.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Wait, what?
Wait,
I thought
wait,
we were
wait.
friends.
You didn't hear anything?
I didn't hear anything.
I thought we were friends.
Did he just break up with me and he's gonna date
Wait.
you in the future? In like 4 months, he's gonna date you.
What's happening?
He just talked about the last story that we did, and you just took a picture with him because remember that's how she's like, I think I'm dating my ex's childhood best friend.
Oh,
So you broke up.
See, we went into two stories. We've never crossed that path.
The fact
Maddie,
that you guys
that's all
didn't
I
catch
did.
that, though,
I
I was
missed
like,
it.
I heard it.
I was
missed
mad
it.
you didn't realize.
I can't believe you posed for that picture, Brandon. He's like,
Yeah, Brandon didn't know. He doubled down. Didn't
We got
realize. it.
catfish.
it's like he really likes his cousin or something. And that's poisonous, like this next story.
Oh, dang it. I was going to steal it. I was like, don't poison him against me.
Am I the asshole for laughing about the time I poisoned my sister? 'Cause that's funny. Killing, almost.
it's just
That's
a prank,
funny,
bro.
guys.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for laughing about the time I poisoned my sister? Warning, photo of spider attached. Okay, so I have to tell a story to get to my point. From the earliest memories to about 4th grade, when the story takes place, I always wanted a pet. I would take cats from outside and let them inside until my mother noticed and shooed them out of the house. I found a stray dog and hid it in my room, feeding it hot dogs and cheese until my mother found it and called animal control. I found snails and put them in bowls hidden under my bed until they escaped and my mother found them in the hall, etc. I even started collecting bugs outside and keeping them in little shoebox habitats I constructed out of dirt, grass, and dead flowers plucked from the garden. But by this time, my mother routinely made a habit of checking out my room for friends. Long story short-ish, a cousin came to visit when I was 9, and I was told to take his suitcase up into the guest room. When I got it onto the bed, a huge yellow spider fell out of the bag. It was literally the size of my head at that time. I immediately decided it was my new pet. I named her Spot due to the black and green spots she had. I constructed a habitat for her and hid it in my closet under some blankets. I would go out each morning and collect potato bugs from the garden, a slice of my lunch apples, a sliver of my dinner, only to feed it all to my new pet once it was time for bed. Spot would let me hold her, and I felt cool hanging out with my new pet. Ooh. One day, I noticed that she had spun an egg sac. Hooray! I thought, more friends. Fast forward a few weeks, and I went to feed her again. Not only was she gone, but the egg sac was open and empty.
Burn the house.
I looked for her, never found her, and briefly sat for a day or two before my child brain found something else to think about. Fast forward another month or two, we started getting spider webs all over the inside of the house. Inside the door frames, on the banisters, in the cabinets, etc. My mother had our house sprayed by 2 separate exterminators over the next few months, but the spider webs just kept returning in larger volume. I began to panic as my mother's frustration rose and I did not want to get in trouble. So I kept my mouth shut as she ran around the house searching for the spiders while murmuring, "When the fuck?" under her breath. She then had the house fumigated, and within a few days, the spider web started covering bushes, trees, and patio furniture outside the home. My mother's fury and her war against the spiders continued to grow, and I started to panic at the idea of how much trouble I would be in if she ever found out it might have been my fault. Then my younger sister got bit by a spider. She woke us all up in the middle of the night screaming. When we all rushed to her side, we saw that one of her legs was rapidly swelling. My mother gave her Benadryl, but it didn't help, and we ended up rushing to the hospital a few hours later. The doctors told us it was a severe reaction to a possibly venomous bite, but she was going to be okay. I began to cry, thinking that I almost killed my sister, and immediately told everyone that it was my fault. My mother was red with anger, but the doctor had me describe Spot in detail, my mother swearing under her breath each time I called her by her name, and he left me to do some research. A few moments later, the doctor returned, interrupting my mother's whispered threats of punishment, and showed me a photo that looked identical to Spot. Turns out that Spot was a banana spider.
Oh my God.
A species with venom strong enough to kill a small child without medical intervention. At that time, they were a very serious invasive species in the U.S. as they were not native to the country. My cousin worked at a fruit processing plant and worked in the department that sorted fruit from Asia, so it most likely hitched a ride with him from work. My sister went home after 4 days in the hospital. My mother had our house tented and yard soaked with chemicals. I was grounded for what felt like a year. So anyway, the other day I was telling her this story at a family gathering after being asked, "What is the biggest trouble you ever got into as a child?" Everyone was booing me for my childhood choices, and we were all laughing at what an idiot I was. Everyone in the room agreed that I was in the wrong, vocalized their relief that my sister was okay, and laughed at the idea of how much trouble I got in. My mother was an angry woman. My sister walked in and laughed along with everyone else. It's now 3 months later, and my sister sent me a text telling me that I'm the asshole for laughing at the fact that my actions led her to being bitten by a poisonous spider. In quotes, she said, "I almost died, and I would think that you wouldn't find it funny. We're in our 30s now, and I think we should be able to laugh about this at my own expense." Now she's stating that she may not want to come visit me for the holidays and wants me to apologize. I did apologize for making her feel like I didn't understand, that it was serious and a traumatic event. I recognize that feeling understood and validated is an important part of making a relationship last. So I was deeply sorry if I damaged anything from that perspective, but she pushed me to apologize for laughing and to promise her that I don't and will never find anything about that story funny. Thing is, it makes me laugh whenever I think about it. I explained it's
Oh my God.
I explained it's because it is a crazy thing that happened, and it's only funny to me due to my own wicked sense of self-deprecating humor. I don't find it funny at her expense. It's also the first time she's heard me tell the story from my perspective. So it's not an issue of me bringing it up over and over again. I don't think that it's funny that she was bitten. I said, well, if mom just would have let us have pets growing up, maybe I wouldn't have been so desperate and thought a spider would have been a good choice for a pet. I was 8 in a joking way to try and diffuse the tension. She hung up on me. How would you phrase an apology to help settle this? Am I the asshole?
You don't think you did anything wrong?
I would be so petty about this. You were 8 years old. You're not the asshole.
Yeah.
You were a child. You didn't know any better. We've all had stories like that where we didn't want to get in trouble with our folks. So
Let me show you what it looks like, by the way.
You'll see this.
if anything, I got a hot take. It's the parents' fault.
Yeah.
Dad didn't do his job, left an invasive species.
No, the
on-
uncle. The uncle
the
brought
uncle?
it in.
Yeah, whoever. The uncle brought it in, didn't do his job. Brought an invasive species into American soil.
Not in America.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
patriotism.
Yeah.
That's a
Wait.
big spider.
If you
Do
see,
it on a tree.
they always
Put-
say anything
banana
colorful.
spider
If
on
you see
a
a
tree.
colorful spider, run. It's got color on it. That's not good.
I see why she
Those
thought it
things
was so
get
cute.
ginormous. It's scary.
Oh, okay. Banana spider on a hand. Ugh.
Where is it?
It's on his hand. It's on his fingers.
That was pretty big.
Oh, I see it. I see it. And they're just playing. They're like,
Da-da-da-da.
it's walking around their head. They're like, I love you, Spot.
Let me hold
I don't
him.
know how you did this, OP. I hate spiders. You just seem like you love any living thing, though. So maybe that makes sense.
Good Lord.
I couldn't. Was ugh.
Good on you. Spiders don't deserve the treatment they get.
No, they do.
They don't.
I don't. I would never kill a spider. But
Burn
I
the
kill them. I
house.
yell at them because they make me
you
freak
yell.
out.
That's extra. I think.
I say, get out of my house.
And they're like,
Are you
we're
paying
spiders.
for this?
We don't know
Me
what you're
neither.
saying."
Get out.
If you said it in an Australian accent, we would
Oi.
know.
I say, oi.
Well, the thing I thought about the story, and I sent you in the comments because I think I was with Josh. I was like, it was like a childhood thing, and because we're hearing it from the OP side, it's like, oh, this is like a light adventure. This is fun. But one of the comments I read on there was like, you got to look at it from the sister side. This was a traumatic experience where she literally almost died. She was in terrible fear. She was scared. And people are laughing it to this day. You're like, no, this is something that was a turning point for my life. I literally could have died. It could have killed me as a child. And to hear that later on where you're like, people just think this is a joke. You're like,
I could have
no,
died.
I literally could have died. It's not a joke. I don't think it's funny. And I know this exact thing because I have like a joking personality and I say things that I think are funny. It's not always funny to everybody involved. And someone can come at you like, no, that ain't it. Like this, some traumatic thing happened to me and you said that and it triggered me and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, I have to recognize that. I can't just live in my world. Well, it's funny to me. It's light to me. That doesn't always work. That's not a valid excuse. And I think that doubly in this case where her life was put at risk, it's kind of hard when you see it from her perspective is like a different, something like a different tint on the story. We're just saying like, oh, spider, the spider, there's so many. Like, no, something that could have changed you. Your sister could have died, and then you would have lived with your sister dying. That's what I'm like, that's crazy.
I think to piggyback off that, everybody's sense of humor is different.
Yeah.
I think, is that what you said?
Yeah, in a way. Because I'm like, I think we could have that kind of joke and we were like, we probably still laugh about it.
Yeah.
But that's not everybody. Everyone's not going to like take that same situation.
Because even if you take it from like a different style of joke, like we have very much built on top of each other rapport. That's why we work together so well. But then like imagine we have a joke and someone that has put down humor it's happened before, has put down humor, tries to get in on the joke, and it's like the joke doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Because you're bringing out this different aspect of a joke. And it's like, I feel like that's kind of what happened.
That's so true.
He has like just because you have that self-deprecating type of joke doesn't mean it's gonna like land, because maybe she might have build up humor, or it's like there probably could have been a way you could have said it or presented it to make it like better, but it's like that self-deprecation is like all me, but it's like she's the one that went through it.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
not self-deprecation if it's not you.
you just suffered the consequences.
Yeah.
She's the one that almost died.
So you get all the fun from it.
Yeah. She's the one that's like, oh no, I remember being in the hospital for like 2 weeks. This spider almost put me on a t-shirt.
And you're just like, I was grounded. Fighting for a life in the hospital. You're like, dang, it was sucked in my room all day.
I feel like I get both points because I do understand the put down humor. I also get what Josh is talking about, where he's like, "You're 8 years old. You're gonna make stupid decisions when you're 8 years old." I get that. You know, she's like, "I was in the hospital for 4 days." Mm-hmm. I get why she's upset, but at the end of the day, she is asking for her to be like, "Don't ever make that joke at my expense ever again." I'm like, listen, the joke is about me being an idiot. It's not being. I get what OP's saying. Yeah. The joke is about me being an idiot and being an 8-year-old who let all these spiders in the house. And I'm not saying I would. I'm totally on the little girl who's got bit. I would be scared out of my mind if there was spider webs everywhere. I would not be OP where I'm like,
to see a multiply.
You almost die.
That it would be the scariest thing. And they just don't go away. And then I wake up and there's a huge spider as big as my freaking hand that just bit me as a little kid. And
your sister's going like, oh, there's Spot. And you're like,
Spot!
That's who bit me. You're like, that's Spot to you?
Spotlight comes up to her.
Junior, because, you know, it's the babies.
She's like, that's not
It's
Spot.
SJ.
Yeah, pain is temporary.
We love you, SJ.
Christmas is forever.
This is my gift.
We love you, SJ. We'll see you in the next few episodes.
She's not dead.
She's alive.
She's totally alive, guys.
She's upstairs. We're in the basement. She's upstairs.
But
yeah,
I feel like at the end of the day, she was 8 years old.
Yeah, and that's where I agree, because even at where the story was told, where the family were laughing about it and all that stuff, I was okay with that situation. I had the issue where she confronts you and it's like, hey, this really sucks. I really don't like when this is made of me. Even I kind of I still get your saying like, well, this part is about me and I like to tell the story. In that moment, meet her with empathy. Like, I'm sorry about that. It's like OP was kind of making excuses. Like, this is not the time to say you were 8. This is the time where you're like, you know what? You feel bad. I feel sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
For your near-death experience.
Yeah.
I feel like before she did, though, because she said I was genuinely sorry that she felt that way. And
like
I care about keeping
like,
that relationship with her.
We're like, I'm sorry that it happened. Yeah. Like, that's the vibes that I was getting. Maybe I read it wrong, but I'm like, that's how the vibes was like, I'm sorry that you got bit, kind of.
Yeah,
but
and claiming
my thing too, right? I got grounded.
Yeah, and claiming you're sorry about something doesn't necessarily mean you really do have empathy.
True.
I think the other thing though is like, dang, I just had it. Oh, trauma. Like her response, I feel like is coming from a place that is traumatic.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you guys were 8. It was so long ago, but it's like trauma will be forever if you let it.
Well, when Maddie was talking about the spider webs, I'm like, oh yeah, she probably sees spider webs now and is like,
oh my God.
Yeah. I almost died from one of those things.
But like, at what point do you work through trauma and be like, okay, I'm in my 30s now. It's been 20 years.
Never, because they never deal with it.
But isn't there like a saying where it's like, I can't work my life around your traumas if you don't work on them?
That's true.
There's like, I agree with everybody here. I agree with both sides.
Well, this is me saying it, reading that comment, because if I'm literally in the same situation, especially the sister coming 3 months after the incident, I would respond similarly how OP's responding. So I'm like, I'm not saying I'm above this. I'm like, I am that kind of person and respond in a similar way. But now that I saw that comment, I'm like, maybe I should think about it differently. Like, everything's not a joke. Maybe I should respond better in those situations if I am confronted with someone like. But there is like, a lot of you stubbed your toe back in first grade and like I accidentally tripped you and now you're mad at me because I brought you back to first grade. Work on it, bud. I don't know.
The only thing from the sister's side, I was like, okay, that's a little far, is when she's like, I don't want you to even think it's funny. Because it's like,
you can't tell me my thoughts.
You can't tell me what I think is not funny and what is.
Because in my head, I'm laughing.
This conversation is not serious to me right now. You mean to tell me I'm gonna like just eventually? Oh no, that's horrible. Like to each its own. Like that's your personality. Like me personally, if I was in that situation, I would dread thinking about it. Like I'd be like, oh no.
You would actually try to honor their word. Like I won't think.
No, I wouldn't
funny.
have made a joke in the first place. I would have like I would go back and think about that time.
And
like
laugh.
no, I'd be like, oh no, don't think about that. Don't think about that. That's horrible. That's horrible. No, not like in a laughing thing. I'd be like scared and nervous, like, oh, she almost died because of me.
Also,
Yeah.
you would never even be in this.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. So it's like maybe that's another thing. I don't think from that perspective. Because me personally, I just would have been like,
You're a good person.
oh, I almost killed somebody because I wanted a pet.
Just like when it's like a light movie that's edited as a horror movie. It's like that. OP singing this like da 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 da, da. And then but the sister's like, "Durr." They're singing the horror side of the same story, and it's just perspective.
Yeah.
So this was one of the stories that she requested that we acted out if
Yeah, we
we
have
put
to.
it on there.
And
so
she said she'll stick a spider on us if we don't, so we kind of have to.
Is it
I don't-
Spot?
She still
it's
got
Spot JJJJJ.
Spot JJJ.
She never sent a picture. So what kind of spider?
Because she
is
couldn't
it?
Spot's on his way. We have to do this.
From Australia.
It's just a missing hand.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
She's like, it's your choice.
The postcard Spots
Or
coming.
the hand's not missing, but there's nothing
Yeah.
on it. You're like,
Yeah, it's a
where's the
picture of-
spider?
He's like, this was 10 minutes ago. You're like, Spot?
In my house?
Well, I want to be Spot.
I'll be the mother.
okay.
Yeah, the sister.
Or
I'll be
OP.
the sister. I'll be the sister.
Oh, he's like,
Okay.
Okay.
I have to be the total opposite? No.
all right,
But who's OP?
I will. La 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 la.
Hey, OP?
la.
Did you are you keeping something from me again?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You seemed like really weird after you brought your uncle's. What was that?
I think it was like a Skittle or something.
Did you take something from your uncle's briefcase?
Hey, don't throw me like that.
Who said that?
Nobody.
I-
Spot, shut up.
Sorry. You
Why-
threw me. That was rude.
This
I gotta go to my
8-year-old.
room. I have to poop.
Let's go.
Goodness.
Spot, let's go.
Use the bathroom again, honey.
Hey, let me get on your head. I'm as big as it.
Okay. On my forehead.
Whoa.
Spot, do you want an apple slice?
Yes. No.
So, girl,
That's
who knocked you up?
good. That's good.
No, because we need to talk, Spot. Who knocked you up?
Okay, so you know how I told you that Jerry was just like,
Jerry?
yeah, and I said I didn't like
What
him.
about Kevin?
Kevin is
He
so-
was he would have taken care of you. Because guess whose house are you sleeping at right now? You're not sleeping at Jerry's house.
I know. But Kevin's so boring. I like broke up with him at a wedding. This wedding I went to, it was so annoying. But Jerry's little, they call him Daddy Longlegs for a reason. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
8-year-old me doesn't know what that means.
Oh, sorry.
But
Brother, who are you talking to?
I'm a girl.
Who's that?
Oh, yeah. Sister,
I'm
who are
a
you
girl.
talking-
I'm talking to myself as I'm pooping because like
is
I
that?
don't have iPad. So
Hey, OP, who's that?
it's like my sister.
The skin smells sweet.
Well, that sucks.
You can't
I'm
you
gonna go
can't
pay
eat
iPad.
her.
don't
I
know.
just gave you an apple slice.
I know it was good, but I'm still hungry.
Okay, hold on. Do you want a piece of gum? Here you go.
Hey, what's over there?
Wait,
I'm gonna take a
Spot,
nap.
where did you go? I was gonna tuck you in tonight.
Girls, come down for dinner.
Okay.
Hey, little girl.
Spot! Spot!
Oh my god.
Wait, because I thought it was SJ that killed the Spot's
No,
daughter.
it was always Spot.
I'm running away because I can't be seen at the crime.
Oh my gosh!
Why are you running? OP, why are you running? Where are
I
you
tripped.
going?
Huh?
Oh my
Mom,
god.
my leg.
Oh my god, sister, are you okay?
My leg,
Oh.
it's floating.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty
Oh my
venomous.
god. It's
I
so
would look at that.
it's so green and
Spot,
delicious.
get out.
Okay, bye.
I'm feeding.
Oh my god, we gotta get you to a hospital right now.
I'm feeding.
There's a lot of spider webs in this house.
Ow!
Wait, what bit you?
Wait, I don't even know. It was like the size of my calf.
Maybe if you weren't on your iPad, you would know what bit you.
OP, don't treat your
You're
sister
just
like
je-
that.
you're-
You always treat your sister with zero empathy.
Does anyone
and you
see
should
yellow?
change that.
Well, it's because she always tells on me when I have ladybugs in the house.
Guys, I see the color green.
Good.
I hear it too.
we'll get you to the hospital. I need to call.
Come on. Let's go to the hospital.
I can't walk.
Come on.
Exterminator here.
Oh, thank God. I don't know what, but something happened to my daughter's leg. I assume it's some creature. My daughter.
I don't think you're ever going to have mobility in your knee again.
Why would you tell me that?
Give me your address and give me out.
You're probably going to die.
123 Australian
think I'm
way,
getting
not in
testosterone
Australia.
in this.
It's not in Australia.
No.
Well, ma'am, I'm based in Australia,
Guys,
so are
my
you not
voice.
in Australia?
Hold on.
Well, I gotta send to my daughter, honey. Why is your voice?
I got
voice so
testosterone in that bite. Whatever.
Oh my
my
gosh. We're at
Are
the
you going to be?
hospital.
Here's the money.
It's Spider-Man.
So I don't know what happened.
There's some toma.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Your daughter got bit by a very rare spider.
Spider
Rare, like, worth the
462
money,
to be
or-
exact.
Yeah.
Like, is it worth
Love you,
money? Like,
Spider-Man,
can I
after
sell
this.
it?
If you want to, I thought you were
You
worried
probably
about your
can't.
daughter.
You
Oh,
probably
yeah,
can't
my
because they're probably
daughter,
like
yeah.
they're probably like really known, whatever they are.
Yeah, your daughter could have died.
They're probably like really
I could
popular.
have died.
Wait,
The testosterone was
Wait,
going away though. Since I'm
your
in the
daughter's
hospital.
saying something. I think she might know more information
She's 8
about
years
this.
old. She doesn't know anything.
What do you
I
know?
don't
Do
know
you know?
anything.
And we are
Your,
gonna have a long.
your
conversation
sister
with
could
her.
die right now. If you have information that could help her, you need to tell us.
Testosterone is
Okay.
really kicking in. Not grew a beard.
Oh my
Okay.
god, the beard actually looks nice.
There's a spider that I had in my room, and she was sleeping around with these 2 other spiders, and
Oh
they
my
kicked
Here's
her
a
out of
pen
the
and paper.
house.
Draw the spider now.
She was
Plot
like really
thickens.
pregnant, and she had a really good body though. I was
Really
like,
good?
okay,
So it
abdomen.
works out. Spider works
She
out.
works out.
That's important information.
She works out.
Okay.
Her name was
Body,
Spot.
yaddy,
Spot.
And I would say, okay, so I looked her up on Google Earth.
Okay.
And I think she's a banana spider.
Use a banana. Banana spider.
She was spotted, and she was like yellow and
But in all
black.
the right places, right? You said she had a good body.
Doctor, you should not be talking to an 8-year-old like
I'm
that.
sorry. I just need to get information to
I'm
help
sorry.
your daughter.
Spot just kept
Help your
saying,
daughter.
Spot just kept
Dying.
saying, look at my body.
Yes,
And she would
okay.
always be like on the
Explain
web.
that more.
Well, she would always be on the web with like her boyfriends. I'm like,
Would
what are
she
you
twirl around? Say it
She
slow.
did twirl. She was like, let me show you my
Okay.
next set. And I was
Doctor,
like,
are
what
you
is that?
going to treat my
Yeah,
my-
this is
my
important. This is
least
important. This is
favorite
important.
daughter?
But I
Mom,
think
when
she
I die,
said,
bury me in a strip club.
And
scene. Wait,
Oh! Where are we? Who are we?
and 10 years later,
Yeah.
like this next story. Am I the asshole for refusing to give my wife of 10 years another baby?
Nah. Oh, man. Yeah. Just off the title, I'm gonna say no.
Such a loaded question.
Yeah,
There's like a lot of questions itself about it.
Only if your wife was like, "Can you steal this baby?" You're like, "I can't give this. Not ours as a give."
I was gonna say maybe they just weren't financially ready, but
Well, that could be
that-
your thing.
No,
But
yeah.
also kidnapping. Not good. You're the asshole.
I mean, yeah.
Anyone who kidnaps are assholes. Am I the one not to take a stand on this podcast?
take-
No, you
I'll
don't.
take same.
No, we
Are
all
you with me?
We get it.
Are you with me?
No, we totally get it.
If
Maybe.
you're a kidnapper, you're an asshole.
But no one's gonna be able to.
I'm sorry. Someone has to cut out the BS. Someone needs to cut out the BS. Kidnappers are assholes.
Sam, shut up.
I'm like a crazy person out here. Oh my God.
That shouldn't have tickled me.
I think it's always asking for trouble for the child if one of the parents doesn't want to have a child.
Yep.
True.
But what Sam said was right too. Am I right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's give it up for Sam.
My fellow hosts sometimes are afraid to stick up for the truth, and I know it's scary. So these are not the.
I literally agree.
These
with
are
you.
not the thoughts of Comfort Level Podcast. This is me.
That is a thought of Comfort Level
Yeah, that
Podcast.
is-
I just want to know these are not their thoughts. This is mine. I
That one
understand.
specific thought that you
Yeah,
had that
yeah.
actually wasn't controversial is what we also stand
Oh,
on.
you also
Yes.
agree with it?
Am I the asshole for refusing to give my wife of 10 years another baby? I, 46 male, and wife, 38 female, have been nagging me nonstop about having another baby that I don't want. For a little bit of insight, I already have 7 children before I met my wife. I have 4 of them living with me full time, and 3 of them I have split custody with.
A lot of kids.
When I met my beautiful wife, she had a 4-month-old daughter that I absolutely adore. After we got married, we had a few children of our own, so our life is pretty hectic. We're finally at a point where we're stable, where I don't have to work as much and can be home with the family more. I'm so overjoyed because I didn't really get the option to spend much time with them. But now I can. My wife went from suggesting to demanding to us fighting all the time about having a baby, to her complaining that she's always wanted 5 children and that I was taking the dream away from her. My wife also said that our 3-year-old is getting too big and that she would like to have a baby now before she gets too old. And what's it to me on having another one when I already have 7 before her, and giving her another baby is the least that I can do. Especially because she raised my children, taking the best years of her life away from her. That she didn't even want to take care of them. She only did it out of obligation to me. I was very hurt when she said these things, especially about our children, because some of my children were really young when we got together, and they call her mom. I tried to explain to her these things that she was saying was hurtful, and it wasn't fair for me to have to go back to working more to provide for another baby, especially when we already have a 7, 5, and a 3-year-old together. On top of having a 10, 13, 16-year-old and an 18-year-old living in the house while trying to help our 21-year-old move out. Telling her that we already have so much on our plate and adding another baby right now just isn't a good idea, on top of the fact that she almost died giving birth to our youngest. We both had to go to therapy because of it, and now she wants another one. It blows my mind, which turned into a bigger fight. Her saying some really mean things that I really didn't want to repeat, just in case my children read this. My wife yelled at me and called me the biggest a-hole she ever met. Not to talk to her because it seems to be a waste of time. She is now gone and is staying with her mother as of right now. I tried texting and calling her. She's not responding. It's been 3 days since then. I really don't know what to do. I can't give her a child, even if I wanted to. I couldn't. I had a vasectomy after she nearly died giving birth to our youngest. I never thought we were going to have a baby after all that we went through. Am I the asshole? No.
So much happened.
The crazy thing to me is she said, I can't believe you wouldn't give me a baby after you have 7 kids. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly why he wouldn't give you a baby. This man.
And he did give you, he gave you 3, 2
3,
or 3.
so he's got like 10 kids.
Can I get some clarification? Who's all the parents of the kids? Like the biological parents? Because I thought all of them were her.
No, he's the dad to 7 separate from her.
7 separate from her. They have 3 together.
She had 1 on her own, and then they had 3 more when they got married.
Yeah. So that's 11 kids.
And then she wants another one because one's getting too old.
She wants 2 more from him. That's crazy. That's so heartbreaking that she's like, I wasted the best years of my life on raising your kids. Because if somebody who was a mom figure in my life said that and I heard that, I'm like, you've been raising me for the past 18 years and this is how you feel about me? You don't care about me because I'm not actually your kid?
Wait, what did he cut out? He said, I wanted to cut stuff out in case my kids read it. That was hurtful.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
What did he not say? Because it was kind of like what you were saying earlier, Josh. It's like there's a certain point in a relationship, you're having kids, this is a joint decision. If we've had a lot of kids, I'm not an asshole for having a thing that I don't want to do anymore, especially given that we did do it. Because I think this is different than a story where there's people who get in a relationship and they're together. One person before the relationship, before they get married, they're like, hey, I want to have kids. And the other person's like, well, yeah, sure. And then they get married and they turn around and like, yeah, I don't want to have kids. Like, that's a different thing. It's like, we did the kid thing
3 times.
3 times. And you almost died the last time and we both agreed like, hey, that was crazy. Let's not do this again. And then you trying to guilt me and saying, oh, I want another one. You're like, I thought we decided, and it's okay to say that.
I think a lot of it has to boils down to the ages. And correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was the husband was 46 and the spouse was 38. I think, I mean, the husband obviously being significantly older is definitely, like, even knowing he has 10 kids now, like, that's that's a lot to go through. But from her perspective, that's around the age when women are right about to, leading up to menopause. So your body kind of really starts to, that biological clock really starts to ticking louder and louder. So,
But what clock? You have 11 kids. It's not like you didn't have kids. You have so many.
the body does weird stuff.
Oh,
It's like
wow.
once I think I read somewhere that once a mother has a child, once you've birthed a child, your body will release a chemical, basically tricking you into forgetting all of the bad stuff of being pregnant and then wanting another child.
Well, okay, there might be chemical reactions, but there's also reality too. And I don't know their financial situation, but it doesn't seem like a good financial decision to have 11 kids and then say, what's one more? Like, kids are expensive, and I feel like he's thinking in multiple different ways.
No,
You
for
almost
sure.
died. This is an added responsibility. This is a human being
Yeah.
that we're bringing in this world. This is not an accessory, because it seems from his comments that we're hearing through him is like, this is like an accessory. I want another baby, to have a baby, because this one, our 4-year-old's too old.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree with your points. And I don't think OP is the asshole, but keeping a little bit of perspective of the other side of this story, that's all I'm trying to present.
Well, there's updates on this one, right?
Yes, there's 2 other updates. I'm going to read the top comment here for this first story. So, not the asshole. People are focusing on the vasectomy when that isn't the point of this post. When someone has a medical procedure, they're not obligated to share it with anyone, not even their wife, if that's the case. It's possible she knows since they're reversible. No one should have a baby if their heart isn't in it. It'll breed regret and resentment, especially if you're now finding a little peace and settling into a new, more enjoyable phase in your life, only to start all over again. Your wife is lashing out and trying to hurt you, emotionally manipulating you, and trying to force your hand into getting what she wants. She might even lay down an ultimatum, have the baby or it's over. Honestly, you're nearly 50. I don't know what kind of physical condition you're in, but one can make a point that it's a little unfair to be having kids so late when they might not have you for very long. Young adults need so much guidance. You're going to burn out. If your wife is making this into a big deal, I would prepare yourself for this marriage to be over. Because even if she comes back and drops the issue, she might stay to keep the family together, but she'll harbor resentment. With all these stories I've read on here, I wouldn't be surprised if she tries to baby trap you or hooks up with someone to pass off as yours if she doesn't know about your procedure. So that was the other thing I was going to say was he literally wants to spend all the time that he has with his 11 kids, He's like, I don't want to have to go work. Because I get what you're saying, too, of everything that she's feeling. But like somebody said, I think it was Sam, and maybe it might have been you in the beginning, too, before the story even went on. It's 50-50. And if he's not down for it, then I think she has to be like, look, maybe 3 is enough. 3 is still a lot of kids. You have a lot to focus on. You also probably want to focus on other things in your life. I don't know, but...
Yeah, because she still gets to make the decision whether, well, that's something I really want. So either if I can't do it in this marriage, then we have the ability to separate and for me to pursue this because this actually is important to me. So that's totally her right.
And as his for getting a vasectomy, he said, I'm not getting you
Which
pregnant.
I kind of disagree with that comment part of like,
He should have told her.
you definitely should tell your wife you get a vasectomy. I don't know. I think there's things that you share with between your wife and husband, or wife and wife, husband and husband, whatever you get to, that you should tell those kinds of things to them. That's not something you should keep to yourself, probably.
Because that makes me think of a story that we had a few months ago where the husband had a vasectomy and he was trying to convince his new young wife that they were going to have a baby.
Oh, yeah. That's
And he was
crazy.
lying to her the whole time of
Yeah.
like, oh, why aren't we getting pregnant?
Yeah.
That's
So
wild.
I'd also do not agree. You should communicate that even if you go make the decision yourself, but be like, hey, I just had a
you
vasectomy.
tell them, like, I'm doing it,
Right.
but I tell you.
Because isn't it like professional standards? Like you don't have to do it for professional standards, but that doesn't necessarily mean relationship standards too.
Wait, what do you
not-
mean?
I don't know.
For the vasectomy, like professional standards, you don't have to tell anybody that you got one. But that's not that doesn't work in the case of relational.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you should definitely be telling people.
Yeah.
So, update. I don't know how to do this update thing, but this is how I'm going to do it. To be honest with you, I really didn't think this would get very minute responses, and I truly appreciate everyone's feedback and advice, especially all the positive ones. I do appreciate the mean ones too. They give me a new point of view on things. I'm going to answer some of the most asked questions. Yes, my wife did leave me home alone with all the children when she left. Yes, we did discuss how many children we would have. Actually, it took us about 3 years of discussing it, and we decided to only have 1 or 2. Our third was a happy/terrifying accident. As for the vasectomy, I did not directly tell her. A lot of people are asking how she wouldn't have known that I had a vasectomy. She left me at that time. The reason why we went through therapy was because I refused to be intimate with her. To be honest, I was terrified of getting her pregnant again and then her dying. Those were some pretty hard times. Our therapist suggested one of us or both of us getting fixed. I thought that was a brilliant idea. My wife, on the other hand, thought it was a little bit extreme. But I did what I had to do to fix my problem. We also went to great depths on discussing having another child. We both decided that her life was way more important and we wouldn't have any more children. So when she said she always wanted 5, I had no idea where that came from. I do plan on having a family meeting with the older children and discussing these things with them on how she treated them and seeing how this goes. Hopefully it goes well. I'm a little bit nervous. I did hear from my mother-in-law. She told me that my wife wasn't coming home anytime soon, but she will see me at my mother's Thanksgiving. I did take the week off due to my wife not being here so I can take care of my children. On a side note, my daughter E, the 21-year-old, has been acting weird. After R, the 18-year-old, showed her my Reddit story, E asked me if she could talk to me privately after the family meeting. I did try to persuade her to tell me now. She said that she didn't have enough time and she had to get going for work. Needless to say, I'm really stressed out. So that's the first update. So she didn't know, which I do think was wrong.
Yeah.
But also, talking about traumatic responses, this man is like, I care more about my wife than the baby. We don't need any more babies.
Right.
I want you to be healthy.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you think we need more kids, but I think I value your life more. And if it's dangerous, I don't want to do it.
And we talked about this.
We talked about only having 1 or 2.
And we went over that. So you got a bonus one. And you still want more?
More.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was writing down. I think using the term monster-in-law is like a massive red flag. Mostly because
it's a classic joke of the whole monster.
I get that, but I think it's something that, you know, society needs to really, you really need to empower yourself into, if you have issue with your in-laws, either try to work towards it, and obviously that's, you know, up to both parties if that gets resolved. But we don't know if there's like some manipulation happening or whatever. It seems like they don't have a really good relationship. So, I mean, you know, unfortunately, it seems like maybe this isn't going to end well for their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that her mother is supporting her through all this? Like, just
I think so. And I don't think it's that's bad for her mother to support her.
Yeah.
But it's
a mother supporting her daughters.
I know. It's almost as hot as your take. But thank you. Thank you, Ottomans. Thank you. But if she's doing it just to be like manipulative or, you know, continue to be, I guess, the bad guy, just to be an asshole, like,
Yeah.
it's not going to help. And it's just even more red flags that, like some of the commenters have said, that relationship just might not last.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, like you're saying, especially if she has people in her corner who are like, yeah, no, girl, you're right. You're right.
You should have more kids. Imagine your friend came up to you, your friend with 11 kids came up to you and like, so I really want to have another kid, but my husband doesn't want one. What would you say?
Close the factory.
I would say I think that's the end of the story. Unless, like you said, so was the relationship over?
Yeah.
Are you looking for somebody else?
Is the wife a banana spider?
Spot
struck again. Spot's like, I need to have 600 at least. My last.
Did the spiders write this?
Yeah.
So, final
missing the
update. Am I the asshole for refusing to give my wife of 10 years another baby? I know you've all been waiting for an update. A lot has happened, and I need some time to process it. Thank you all to those who have reached out to me to make sure that I was okay. Family meeting. I learned that my wife was a good mom / stepmother, but she was a horrible biological mom to M. That was a hard pill to swallow. I learned that she was pregnant. I also learned that my youngest child may not be mine. All I have to say is I wish the family meeting went differently. Day of Thanksgiving. My wife did show up. I tried contacting her several times before the get-together to tell her that I knew that she was pregnant and that we needed to talk, and I never got a response. Every time I tried to talk to her at the get-together, my brother, Dick, would get in the way. Dick would tell me to leave her alone, man, or don't bring up drama here. All I have to say is I was getting really sick of him, and it was time to sit down to eat. And she didn't sit by me, she sat by Dick. I thought it was really weird, but it made sense when she made her announcement. She told everyone that she was pregnant with Dick's child and that she would like a divorce, so her and Dick can have the relationship they deserve. But what hurts the most is when my mother said, "Huh? I thought we were going to wait until after the holidays."
Whoa!
After that, it turned into a shit show. I gathered up my children and left, except for P, M, and I. They wanted to stay with their mother. I didn't have the energy to fight them. Before I left, my mother handed me divorce papers and a list of demands from my wife. I will be speaking with my lawyer on Monday. I do plan on getting counseling / therapy for me and the children. I also have to go back and pick up P and M because my wife left them behind and told them she didn't want them. I had a long conversation with my mother. I decided that I would be cutting her out of my life. She's always been a shit mother. That's it.
OP, you can come stay at my house anytime you want. I'm so sorry.
Getting served divorce paper by your mother
mom.
is crazy.
And your brother stole your wife and got her pregnant.
So
I thought we were going to tell him later.
Did his daughter know then? Is that what she's like?
I think maybe the oldest must have known. Because, at the family meeting, he found out that she was pregnant. And then he found out that the youngest probably isn't his.
This hurts my heart.
Yeah. Like, you got betrayed by all people that you love. Your family, the woman that you've spent time forever with, seemingly, that you've raised kids with, you have kids with. She cheated on you. The woman who you cared so much for, she was literally almost dying, giving birth to a baby that wasn't even yours, too. It's like, okay.
God, this was a story on
This was
Comfort
on
Level Pod.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Our listeners are, I'm telling you, they have pasts. They have lives.
This is his present, my guy.
Oh, yeah, this is happening currently.
This Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
This Thanksgiving.
Dude, that's a villain
This
arc.
happened 20 days ago.
That's a villain arc. That is...
As of Sam screenshotting it for me. So top comment, with a mom and a brother like that, who needs family? I hope you find a great lawyer and better friends. You'll need them. And then somebody else said, yep, or friends. Damn, I'm so sorry, OP.
Jesus.
Well, this kind of, what they said in the other update where like, oh, she might try to pass the kid off as yours. It seemed like she was trying to do that. She was like, I want to have another kid. She's pregnant at the time. She's saying that, like, I need to have another kid. Why don't you? He's like, I don't want one. She's like, why? We need to do it right now. We have to go right now. He's like, no, I'm not. So that's when she was like, oh, shoot.
Maybe she was like about to start showing.
Yeah,
like
and I think she's like, I need an excuse. I need something.
Man.
Playing devil's advocate. Is there a way, since I always think about it, we always hear things from OP's side. So it's like, we get their side of this perspective. Is there a reason that maybe the mom is on the other side where they're like...
That's so shocking. I really don't understand. Unless
like, is he
the mom
somehow?
is being heard a story that's not true.
Yeah.
Because if you're hearing what he's saying, it's like, okay, so he works to provide for the family. She's the homemaker. She's the one who takes care of all the kids. So... she was potentially trying to have her cake and eat it too. Maybe she was in love with Dick because of his...
You didn't call Dick. That's not even his name.
His name's
Tom.
Richard.
I'm so sorry. I was laughing too hard at when you
That's
said
what,
your
like, he's
brother's
so
name.
immature. He just heard the word Dick and he was laughing for like 30 seconds.
I was thinking of the joke too. I was like, oh no, and it's real.
It was.
And it was Dick.
She was like, I love Richard.
No, I'm on OP's side.
He's like, my name's Dick, baby.
I don't think there's a situation that I can't look at the other side.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you were married to her and she's pregnant with your brother's baby. So it's hard to be on the...
At first, because I thought about that, I was like, why was she like so...
Why was the mom's like... She's like...
But then he said, we had a long conversation and I'm just leaving her. She's a bad mother.
Yeah.
So I was just like...
There's got to be so many other things.
Yeah, there has to be so much, like, I don't know.
This has to be the final straw.
The mom doing it hurts. Like,
I know.
I would die right there. I'm like, are you kidding me?
My heart...
My own mom?
My mom?
My heart kind of like... I was like, oh, that's a little too crazy.
You participated in this? I thought you were going to hug me, Mom. You go like... And she's like...
Then she serves him the divorce papers. Oh my goodness.
Trying to give my mom a hug, she serves me with divorce papers. Yeah. High five, Mom? No, divorce papers.
No, it's like the bad magician tricks where it's like, oh, it's like right here. She's like, ha.
Divorce. You're like, oh. What's behind your ear? Divorce papers.
No, I really could see that happen because she like pats him on the back. She's like, "Do you hear that?" And then she pulls it out.
Someone
she's
taped
like,
something to your back.
You've been
taped it on his
served.
back. It's like, why is everybody laughing?
That would be a horrible way to...
No, we're making jokes,
Yeah.
but seriously, this happened 20 days ago.
Yeah, this is
as of the time of filming.
I really dislike this story, much like our next story.
Oh, Josh staying on business.
I don't really like that story. I don't even want to make light. I think it's awful.
It is horrible. That's why I'm like, let's get back to the seriousness of it, because at the end of the day, that's somebody that listens to us, and that is seriously so horrible. You're not the asshole.
Oh no.
The fact that somebody three people who you love and trusted, and even the thing that sucks too is like you had kids that you were trying to corral out, and some of them wanted to be with their mom, and their moms left them at the house.
Yeah.
2 of them. She only took 1.
I think it just got so serious to the point. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're gonna keep in the joking part, but I think it was like one of those things. It's like you kind of have to joke to stop from crying about it. You know, it's like
1,000%.
It was like so serious. It's just like, man, people have done worse to themselves for less, and it's like, you know, you going through that, you're such a soldier for real. Like,
I mean, he kind of has to.
Yeah, he has to. And I don't know. I hope OP just finds peace eventually. Yeah, it's gonna take a while, I know, but it's just, man, I think about that. My palms are sweating. Yeah, it's like that. Don't.
Please continue to update us. Let us know. Hopefully the separation goes smoothly. The divorce goes smoothly. You're still helping your kids transition out of the house, you know.
Like, no writer can make that up.
Finding people to take care of your kids while you're working, because now he's probably got to do both.
Yeah, because he doesn't have family to rely on.
No, because his family sucks. So the last story, I think. Am I the asshole for publicly disliking my boyfriend's friends? I'm 19 female and my boyfriend 20 male love your podcast. And after our situation last night, he suggested that I come to you for help. I thought that I'd point out that we are from Australia because some of the way we express things come off quite blunt, where here it is normal and we swear a lot. My boyfriend and I met in uni or college, so after high school, I have departed from my high school friends, however, kept a few close ones, whereas he still has his friendship group intact, and they're quite close. However, when I met him, he hadn't been seeing them as much because he wanted to focus on studies and is more of an introvert anyways. My boyfriend has a twin brother, L, who is also a part of this friendship group. My first exposure of this friendship group was a call from the self-assigned leader of the group, F. F says that he has an aura that causes everyone to obey him, unironically. My boyfriend has rejected F's offer to go to the gym at 10:30 p.m., saying that he was tired, and the friend responded saying, "Oh, you're at that bitch's house." Little did he know I was on speaker and sitting right across the table from my boyfriend. Also, I should mention that F has a girlfriend, K, that he is very protective over. If F chose to spend time with K instead of hanging out with the boys, that would be okay, but God forbid my boyfriend makes the same decision. Same thing goes with J, who also has a girlfriend, and they've been dating for a shorter period of time than me and my boyfriend. My second exposure was text from his other friend, Jay, referring to me as the Serbian chick. I'm Australian born, but I look quite ethnic. Lots of hair, dark, and bushy eyebrows, etc. Oh, and my last name is quite obviously not Australian. It still makes me feel uneasy. On these 2 occasions, I did explain to my boyfriend that these experiences make me feel uncomfortable or kind of objectified. Like, since when was I not a person, but instead boiled down to my last name? My boyfriend was very understanding and opened up to me how these particular friends, F and J, have been quite mean to him and dismissive of his own issues over the whole friendship. He also gave them a telling off for what they said about me. However, they refused to apologize to me. Another friend who was close to Jay, but not to my boyfriend, also referred to me as the Serbian girl. So it seemed to be something that was kind of passed around the group. Also, I'm not even really Serbian. I'm from a completely different country, which I've told them, but they don't care. I guess they just inferred it from my last name, and they couldn't be bothered to correct themselves. At the few meetups we went to, F and J would never look me in the eyes as they talked to me. It would instead turn to face my boyfriend. It was such an obvious disrespect. I think it should also be mentioned that F unironically supports Andrew Tate. There we go.
Yep. That's
There
all
it
I needed to
is.
know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him.
I assume
Arrest him,
so.
boys.
And actually graduated from his university course.
No.
So it's safe to say that his actions toward me kind of allude that he doesn't respect women at all, and therefore I said to my boyfriend that I will be civil around F, but I won't be friends with him. He's also very vocal about his lack of care for LGBTQ plus rights and our First Nations people rights, which has been a recently popular topic of conversation in Australia. Anyways, last night was my last straw. F asked my boyfriend if he'd come to his party. My boyfriend said no because he was finishing work late and we still had to go out to get a dinner for his younger sister. We realized that his twin brother, L, was at the party already. F started acting insecure and called my boyfriend 5 times, so he just switched off his phone. We ended up going to bed like an hour after the interaction, and we were both really exhausted. We were abruptly woken up at 1:30 a.m. to the door being wide open and the John Cena music blasting through the doorway. We both get up and try to investigate where the noise was coming from and realize that F is standing there with L and 2 other guys. It's summer in Australia and his room is upstairs, so I had only underpants and a t-shirt on, no bra, and my boyfriend just in his shorts. So it was really embarrassing to realize that they had seen us like half naked, sleeping just before as well. And I was too tired to argue, so I just went back to bed and my boyfriend went to go and speak to them, basically saying it's not cool or whatever and to just let us sleep. I went back to sleep, but he stayed awake. So when they continued to try and mess with us by throwing dog toys in the room to get the dog quite big to run and jump on us while we were sleeping, my boyfriend yelled, "Oi!"
Yes.
In the morning, we had a proper conversation about it, and he filled me in on things that I had missed, such as the dog thing and him not being able to sleep until I left. When reflecting on it, I just felt more and more uncomfortable. I didn't know they were coming over. My pads were out in the bathroom, bra visibly hanging on the bathtub, messy bathroom and room, and obviously not wearing appropriate guest greeting clothes. I understand that it's my boyfriend and Elle's house, and they have the right to invite anyone over, but I feel like they didn't consider the fact that it might be confronting for a girl to wake up unprepared to find multiple men in the house when she's not wearing pants. Also, I feel so pissed off that F was so petty that my boyfriend didn't go, that he thought that it was right to ignore the clear boundary my boyfriend set and coming to his house to wake him up. Our relationship is strong, and while he is not the person to yell and defend in the moment, once he collects himself, he will send messages telling them that he's not okay with this behavior. He has struggled with communicating these things to friends before, so I'm proud that he's pushing himself because he knows it's not only affecting him, but me too now. Not like they'd listen though. When he couldn't sleep last night, he drafted this long text on the Notes app to send to F about how it was rude and how F should apologize for invading ours and especially my privacy. I know F wouldn't ever send me a genuine apology, but if he did, I really just want to unleash it and give it to him. I'm sick of them treating my boyfriend like a second-class citizen and by extension, not treating me right too. I can't deal with these friends anymore. We're adults and this is not a misunderstanding or a once-off. There are many other instances that I could write but aren't important to the context of the story. They are not good people and just bad friends, or even bad people but good friends. This is my opinion, and although I have been clear with my boyfriend that I don't agree with their actions, I never pressured him to cut contact with these friends because I feel like it's unfair. Any advice? Would I be the asshole if I responded really aggressively in the case that F does send an apology? Am I the asshole for sharing these feelings with my boyfriend at all? I don't think so. And it sounds like, to me, it sounds like your boyfriend's ready to cut them off anyway, too. I just think the one thing that kind of sucks is maybe the fact that you live with your brother, who's still very closely entangled into that Andrew Taint booty hole cesspit. So
Yeah, because first question, F's never going to send you an apology.
no, he's not.
You're never going to get one. So
And I promise you, he will not care about that note that your boyfriend made.
No.
He's not going to read it.
He's an alpha male. That's his persona. And
F is just a puppy who thinks toxic masculinity is like great. And honestly, like if it were me, I'm kind of a petty person, which is what Sam loves about me and why I'm so high, number 2 on his list.
Number 2. Woo!
I would be really
himself.
petty about
number
this. I
8.
would just kind of just be disrespectful to him any slight I could. Like you definitely shouldn't stoop to the level of breaking into his room and being, blaring John Cena music, but
Dun, 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 dun.
yeah, he doesn't care about any of your boundaries. He's not going to care about the note. He's not going to apologize. Honestly, I think the worst part about this story is that your boyfriend's kind of stuck as a roommate,
Yeah.
and that's kind of just when you're that age, it's kind of hard to get out of easily unless you're pretty privileged. So good luck.
Pretty privileged or pretty privileged?
pretty
Pretty privileged. Okay.
Yeah.
Beauty
He said
privileged or
Fairly
privilege?
privileged.
Okay.
You said he's just this. What do you call him? A puppy?
Yeah, he's a puppy.
Yeah, these puppies will learn. You can teach a puppy.
Yeah.
He's
The thing is
so
with-
stuck in his ways.
Yeah, the
Well,
thing is
he's
with
still
puppies.
young, right? How old is he?
Aren't they like 25?
Yeah, how old are they?
Well, she's 19. I
Yeah,
think she
19.
said her boyfriend's 20. Yes. They don't say the ages, but this is after college. This is after
Most of them
college.
are like 20, 21, 22.
Yeah.
Those guys are going to they're going to start acting like that to the wrong people, and they're going to learn the hard way what real alpha males are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, I'm like, no one's perfect. We lived together when we were like 20, 21 in the dorms. Would we say that we're proud of everything that those 20, 21-year-olds did? That we're like...
But it's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But it's
It
like,
does seem like their whole personality is this.
it's a mindset thing. It's not just like a one-off action. Like he went to his academy. Like he's learning.
He went to
this
his
stuff
Discord and he paid $50 a month.
and got scammed.
And he graduated with the certificate.
That's true. No,
Like,
I think you bring up a good point, Sam. I think there's definitely stuff I look back on and I'm like, yeah, I would handle that differently now as a more mature adult. But I think the puppy analogy still kind of just holds up.
Yeah, because I think the rise and power of Andrew Tate is these boys who've never really gotten guidance, they've never really got anything to point towards. This strong person tells them something very definitive, very matter of fact, like this is how the world is, and someone's telling me, and I'm finally telling you that people are gravitating toward it, especially young men who don't know anything. So they adopt these awful things, and I'm like, hopefully it's a temporary thing. I'm like, it happens because people are lonely, all kinds of whatever reason they are attracted to whatever he's saying. But I'm like, I don't want to hold someone for the OP. You got to get out of this. I don't know how you get out of it, but you need to get out of it. But I'm like, for them, there's still a chance for them. They could become better. I don't think it's OP's decision to stay there and wait for that change. But I do think they have an opportunity.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that they need to learn because, like, your brain doesn't stop developing until you're 25. But for the most part, you kind of know who you're going to be as a 20-plus-year-old. You're not like a 14-year-old. You kind of have those decisions where you're like, yeah, no, this is where I'm coming into. And this is where I can see where, like, if you are maybe like an insecure, you're like, oh my God, men are better than women. And women should be serving me. And I can have sex with as many women as I want, and they can't do that to me. Like, I get why men are like, I'm better than women. You know, it's like, it's easy for them. I feel like for younger boys who are, it's easy to get dragged into where they're like, yeah, no, I should pick up this ideology.
I don't want to say younger. I'm like, it's definitely appealing to older men too.
Too.
For men who don't have like real experiences with women, like who've never had genuine friendships with a woman before. This is something that could definitely like.
But that's why that's just why it's so toxic. And I do feel bad for OP though, because it's like, it doesn't even sound like it's just misogyny. It sounds like there's also a race factor there too.
Yeah.
They're being racist towards her.
Like indigenous people in Australia, like there's a huge racism thing in Australia against indigenous people, and they're definitely against the rights of that. That's crazy.
That's why I was like, I feel like they're already just stuck in their ways. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I was saying. They're already susceptible to those ideologies of like Andrew. They're going in the path of willful ignorance. It's like they know it could be wrong.
Yeah.
But they don't care anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So this is something that I've been dealing with in my life personally. With people practicing willful ignorance, and you try and correct them, but they're like the most powerful socially, a white male, so they don't feel like they need to change, and they don't care to understand what's going on with people of different skin colors. So the example is, I'm trying to correct a white male about something that they said that could be seen as a very racist remark. Mm-hmm. And they initially are like, what are you talking about? It's not racist. And then I'm like, okay, well, I asked a few people that don't look like us. And they said that is racist. And they're like, well, like there was a quote that I literally sent Brandon because I was so mad about this freaking situation because they didn't care to change. It's like the system is benefiting them, so why would they care?
Yeah.
And it was a Martin Luther King quote.
Oh, no.
And it said, nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and consciousness stupidity. So you are initially ignorant about the situation. Somebody's trying to correct you.
Yeah.
And then you choose to continue to be like, I don't want to learn about it. I'm aware that what you're saying is wrong and I don't want to learn about it.
I feel like we could go on forever about this. So I'm just gonna put, I think, the point that I think I've settled on currently in my life. I think a lot of it kind of boils down to those people. I mean, like you said, they don't want to learn. Mm-hmm. Sorry, no, that wasn't it. People think that their ways are right, or that they're like the good guy. People learn that racism is bad, and they learn all of these words are bad. So when you say, "Hey, what you say was racist," they go, "I'm not a bad person. I've got lots of friends. I'm a leader, blah blah blah, whatever they are." And they go, that, so logically, I can't be racist. It's like, no, you acting in a way that could be racist or saying something that is racist doesn't make you the bad person. It's, like you said, not willing to change or not willing to reflect on it that makes you the bad person. And unfortunately, people just don't really like to do that. Mm-mm.
Yeah, you said that to me while we were driving up here. You're like, I have friends. I'm not racist. I was like,
why are you saying this?
I was like, Josh, listen.
Josh is like, yeah, I have black friends.
Well, the reason I was drawn to the story.
No, but that was, yeah, I have a white friend. It's
Madi.
Josh.
Yeah.
The reason I was drawn to the story because I think it's kind of accepted where people are in relationships and they're like, don't ever tell your significant other to not have these friends. Like, I don't like your friends, so I wish you would not have these friends. In this situation, do you think it's okay for OP to be like, because there's a certain amount of friends where you're like, this is so bad. I don't want to be with you because this is who you choose to be friends with. Can she say like, it's either them or me, or is that a step too far in the relationship?
I feel like that's a step too far.
Okay.
Any sort of ultimatum in a relationship is not good. If you're giving an ultimatum, like, if you do this, that's a form of manipulation.
So what does she do in this situation?
If she's not with the friends, she's not with the tribe. So therefore, You know, maybe we'll get back together. But it's tough because it's like, at least me personally, I feel like the only way that it would work out is if she had to leave. But it's not like, I'm not leaving you. Either way, it's going to seem like an ultimatum. You're not leaving because he has to pick me. You are the friends.
Yeah.
You're leaving because you don't want him to have to pick.
I think there's a way to accomplish, I think, what you're trying to get to, and something Sam kind of brought up, where you can kind of get out of the situation, but really it's not that binary. It's not, I'm not just going to involve myself in that situation. If you can, and I'm not saying this is possible, try to distance yourself from those people in his friend group. At least, put some condition like, hey, I don't really want to, come over if, F and L are going to be there, if the puppies are going to be there, or you don't want to be involved in any events that they also could be at. Just kind of distance yourself. At least then you're not punishing the boyfriend for their bad behavior. You're really saying, this is shooing me away. And if it continue, and if you get closer to them, I'm just going to be more distant.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. Because initially, if she wouldn't have said what she said in the beginning, I would say, because most of the time there's like a saying where it's like your 5 friends like make up who you are.
Right,
like your top 10 or 7 friends.
Your 5 friends.
You're an average of your 5.
No, 5. She said 5.
You're an average of your top 5 friends. Yeah. And I'm like, if his brother's like that, if his literally 2 or 3 other friends are like that, that's all of them. That's 4 or 5 friends. Yeah. But she did mention that he doesn't even really like interact with them. If anything, it kind of seems like they're
holding him hostage.
Yeah. But yeah, if anything, it kind of seems like he was never as close as his brother was to the friend group.
What I'm worried about in this relationship for OP is, I think she's very understanding of her boyfriend, of his personality, like what kind of person he is, and with confrontation and all that kind of stuff. I feel like eventually in a relationship, it's going to wear away. Like watching him being treated like this over and over and not sticking up for himself, and if he doesn't change the dynamic of the friendship or the relationship that he has with these people, I'm like, I'm becoming less attracted to you because you're not
saying it with your chest.
Yes.
Well,
and I don't think you have to be big and bad. You don't have to violently, but you have to stick up for yourself.
Is there something to be said where he is sticking up for himself in the moment, but it's more of like a quiet, reserved, where it's like, stop.
If change happens, because I'm like, I don't need you.
And then he'll text you the next day.
If you text him like, guys, this is done, and I'm like, don't talk to me. Like that's you do it in your own way, but you stick up for yourself in your own way. It doesn't have to be big and brash, but it's like, hey, I'm making a change. I realize this has been the dynamic of our friendship because even me and Josh know, like we have dynamics with friends where like, it was different 10 years ago and now it's this way now. And you're like, well, I'm not going to subscribe to that dynamic now. So I'm going to be different towards you and I'm going to express that to you. But that's what you have to do for yourself. So not even just for your girlfriend, OP's boyfriend, you need to do this for you. This is not a healthy relationship you're in. Mm-hmm. And as OP, I'm like, am I just supposed to sit here while he figures that out, or what are we going to do in the meantime?
Well, I definitely get that too. I'm like, especially like as OP, I definitely want him to say something, but it sounded like in a way he was saying something, but in a more calm and reserved way. But I also get what she was saying, because she even mentioned, she was like, I feel uncomfortable being pranked with all these men around. I don't have pants on. Like, this is crazy that they think that's okay to do. But
I also think, though, not to disregard what I said earlier about like going away, like that's the only, I feel like this could also be a scenario where it's like one of those things where it's like the girlfriend pushes you to be better, like he doesn't necessarily, the way he's sticking up for himself is going to prove not enough in this scenario. Mm-hmm. So it's like in this point he's got to learn, because to what your point, it's like eventually they don't be like, you're not attracted to that anymore. Like you can't stick up for yourself. It's going to take more than a text. You're going to have to say it. I don't like this. And you are doing this. Stop it. and that's it. And if they don't respect it, they're not your friends. But yeah.
So I guess the original question, go off. If you want to go off on F. Screw him. Say it to his face. Say it over the phone. I don't know if he's an aggressive guy. So maybe
he's a punk. He sounds like a punk.
He sounds like a punk for sure. But, go off.
Well, I think the question was like, if he apologizes, should she go off?
Don't even wait for the apology. Just
go off.
Go off now.
Yeah. Go off any situation, anything he says to you.
Should we go off on them? And then she just sends them this clip.
Hey,
you suck.
And actually, this is our last episode before a Run of Colorado episode.
Yeah.
Y'all are going to have some really good times watching those.
Oh my God. I can't wait to see the lighting and stuff.
Yeah.
I know. I'm really excited to see it. Steph was on the camera. We're in a new place. So we're going to take a 2 to 3 month filming break, but you guys won't see that, but we'll still be in the comments. We're going to try and do lives for Patreon people. Probably the first one will be in December or January, and that one will be for anybody on Patreon. And then after that, we might give it to certain tiers, but we'll figure that out. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
Those are all the...
Josh, do you have any final words to say you want to tell the audience?
No, just support my food habits by getting the merch link down below. Sam promises if 1,000 pieces of merch get sold, he'll give me Taco Bell.
Sure. So this doesn't have to be today. That's not retroactively coming back.
Yeah, I have to make the link public now.
Do I have to feed you today, or is that?
Yes, you have to. We know what's going to happen. But
Bye.